Alright, so I'm on Interstate 20, and I've got about 35 miles to go till I can get off of Interstate 20 at Big Spring and cut across. So my fuel mileage has readjusted itself, and I'm going to have to stop and buy fuel before I get home, but I don't have to do it for a while. I'm going to be like about 70 miles short, I think, of enough to get home. It figures. I was hoping I wouldn't have to stop and fuel up again, but so I'll be keeping an eye open for good fuel. Guy, your tank's open. Dude, driving down the road with his fuel tank open. Trying to get his attention, he's ignoring everybody. I think everybody's trying to tell him, dude, your fuel tank's, his cap is hanging out and his door is open, as you can see. He can't see it though, even though he should be able to see it in his mirror. Maybe he just figured it out. Nope, he didn't. He's still moving. Oh well. Gosh. Oh, I know how it is to be forgetful like that. Fortunately, the closest I come to doing that is usually if I have to change pumps at a gas station, I'll pull around to the other pump with my gas cap sitting on the back of the truck. Fortunately, I've never had it roll off of there, but it could happen. You know, it could be a problem. So fuel here's $3.14. I've seen as high as $4.14 in the last 10 miles at the big gougers, you know, the big gougy truck stops. Poor guy. He's probably wondering why everybody's gesturing to him like, what's wrong with you, dude? And he's just oblivious, completely oblivious. Alright, I'm back. I just saw something. I wish I'd had the damn camera on. I've never seen this before. Up on the railroad tracks, there were a bunch of like container cars on one side of the tracks, and on the other side of the track there was a semi-truck, like an old Mack truck or something, and it was hitched up to about 4 cars, like container cars, and it was pulling them along the track. It was a semi-truck. I've never ever seen anything like that before, and I wish I would have had the damn camera going so that I could show you, so you wouldn't think I was just, you know, hallucinating or making up shit. But it was this white semi-truck, and I couldn't really see because of the other cars that were up there. I couldn't see if it was on the track or in between the tracks or what the hell, but it wasn't one of those trucks that has the rail tire, the rail wheels that sit on the rails. It didn't look like that at all. So I don't know what the deal was. If they've got a semi-truck up there and they're just shuffling random cars around. Never ever seen anything like that. It's really bizarre. Very strange. But you never know what you're going to see out here. That's just a fact. Simple fact. You just never know. Never know. But that was really strange. And that's between Odessa and Big Spring. I'm about 14 miles from Big Spring, so this was like, I don't know, 17 miles west of Big Springs. I saw that. There's like a drained lake out here to my left. Looks like the dam busted or something. Either that or it's a river floodplain that's all muddied up. I can't really tell, but it looks like a lake that's been drained actually. Like it got too full and the dam busted and it drained itself. That's what it looks like. Just weird stuff. There's another lake on the right side, and that's, yeah, I don't know, that looks like that might be busted over there too. Huh, interesting. bicyclist with a flashy headlight. I guess to get your attention. Got mine. It works. It works, guy. Your light works. Does what it's supposed to. Okay, 12 more miles to my turn off. I'm afraid to turn the camera off now because I might see something else cool that you wouldn't believe either if I was just telling you about it. So I think I'll just let it run. Finishing off the last of my electrolytes. Needed those. Now this exit is going to say La Mesa, but we're not heading toward La Mesa. La Mesa is back northwest of us now. We'll be heading northeast out of Big Spring. Oh, 75 ain't fast enough for you, huh? Okay. People are getting awful zippy here. Zip, zip. Picnic area, all full of trucks. Those poor guys, they have to spend the night there. They have to sit there for 10 hours until their time comes back up. Once they stop for the night, that's it. They sit for 10 hours. Doesn't matter what the weather's like. None of that matters. They just got to sit there and wait it out. Of course, most of them have, most of the conveniences anyway. Kind of built into their sleepers. They can watch TV and run a microwave. They've got inverters. They've got little refrigerators. I don't know what they do for bathrooms, but I imagine they probably got little porta potties or something because, if you're living in your truck, seriously living in it, and that's what those guys do, then you'd have to have some accommodation for that, even though it's probably not built in. It's probably something they have to add in there. Unless they've got a new way of doing sleepers. The sleepers that they had on the trucks when I went to the truck driving academy, which is the only ones I have any experience with because I've never really stuck my head in anybody's sleepers to see how they're set up. But it's usually just a bunk back in the sleeper, and then they've got all their other stuff off to the side. So I don't know. They don't have a lot of room to maneuver in there. Not a whole lot of room. Then I've also seen these giant sleepers that look like a really nice RV, which I'm sure they're self-contained and everything, probably with showers and fireplaces and all that. I've seen pictures of a couple of those online, the custom ones. The guys that literally that's where they live. They don't even own a house. They just live in their truck and they drive and they live in their truck. So I guess that's okay if you don't mind adding, 20 or 30 feet to the load you're pulling, but that's what they're doing by having those great big sleepers. They have to have an extended wheelbase semi to mount those things on to begin with. And then they, some of them pull heavy stuff, big heavy stuff. Others just pull regular, semi-trailers. It's just kind of, trucking is a weird industry. There are various different kinds of trucking, and people have figured out lots of different ways to adapt to trucking, And I do have to admit, if there was a way to put a decent sleeper on a 1-ton truck and still be able to pull trailers, which I guess you really can't. I mean, there's no such thing as a decent sized sleeper that'll fit on this. If you could do that, it wouldn't be a bad thing. It would save you a lot of money on motels, but it takes a lot of motels to add up to the amount of money that it would take to customize the truck and add a sleeper too. So I don't know. You'd have to really run it for a long time to get your money's worth out of it. Five more miles to my exit. So I want exit 177. I think Bill's brother Charlie, who's now passed away, he was a rodeo cowboy. He was a bull and bronc rider, I think. Did pretty well. He was in the same rodeos with Larry Mahan. They knew each other. And I think he went to school here at Big Spring. And this is where he started doing his collegiate level rodeo, I think. I didn't know him very well. I only saw him a couple of times, ever. So, he was much older. He's like 15 years older than Bill, I think. 10 or 15 anyway. And I met him once when we were kids. I met him at a rodeo in Chickasha. He was a character. He was kind of a pill. Very funny. And very ornery, from what I remember. And then I saw him again in later years. But that was it. But I'm pretty sure he either went to school or something here. But this was kind of where his rodeo career started. And I guess he was really good. I think he was a bronc rider, I think. Not 100% on that. I'm about like 90% maybe on that. But when Larry Mahan got out of the rodeoing business and went into the Western shirt business, he had Charlie as one of the shirt models because he had such a nice physique. He was in really good shape. I do remember that. He appeared in one or two, I think, Larry Mahan shirt ads in magazines. So that was kind of cool. And he knew Chris Ledoux, I guess. But he did the rodeo circuit in those days, so he probably knew everybody, that was connected to rodeo then. Okay, my exit is 1 mile and 3/10. So I'm going to pass this guy because he's going pretty slow. Exit coming up. I'm gonna go find this Starbucks and take a break and maybe see if I can get some reasonable fuel or not. Not as worried about the fuel right now. I will be, but right now it's not the top of my worries. Feeding myself is kind of at the top of the list, and there's a Starbucks. Good. I don't have to hunt very far to find it. Yay. I'm not going to be buying diesel over there at the TA though. $4.14, that's $1 more than it was in Odessa. I mean, these truck stops, somebody needs to, I don't know, not let them do that shit, I think. Of course, they're going to do it anyway, if people are willing to pay it. And I guess some people are. I'm not, but some people I guess are, which I find bizarre, but that's just me. Good. I might be able to just pull in here if this person will let me. All right, I shall return. Not where it's just my seatbelt beeper.
Now for Budweiser.
I'll be back. Okay, so I am in Snyder, Texas, just leaving Snyder, Texas. And I'm about 4 hours from the house, I think, somewhere thereabouts. And I'm getting back into the decent priced fuel zone. Not going to stop here though, I'm going to keep going. I don't have to, I've still got quite a bit. I'll stop somewhere up the road here. But I stopped and got my Starbucks, and there's some little girl in the Starbucks. She's a little, like, teenage girl, and she had her food and her little purse sitting on the table there, and she asked me, she said, "Ma'am, would you watch this while I run to the bathroom?" I'm like, okay. So she goes and she comes back, and she goes, "Well, thank you for watching that." And I'm like, and I had gotten my stuff and I was getting ready to leave. I leaned down and I told her, "You picked good, I'm a retired cop." And she starts laughing. She's like, "Oh, okay." Trying to hint to her that she shouldn't just trust just anybody, you know, just some random stranger with her purse. But I didn't want to scold her or lecture her, but, you know, kind of make her think a little bit about it. Maybe I will stop here. 314, that's pretty good. I don't know. I may see it cheaper up the road. We'll see. I'm so undecided. Well, that's a big-ass trailer. Oversized load there, huh? Alright, so I don't know what my next town is, but at this point, as long as I don't, like, speed the whole way home, which I've been running about 70, I haven't been running at 75, there's no need, I'm not in a hurry. I mean, I want to get home, but I'm not wanting to run top speeds to do that. Save some wear and tear on the truck and save some fuel. I might have enough fuel to get home if I'm conservative about my speed, so it's borderline. I've got 267 miles to go, and it says I've got 263 miles of fuel. So maybe close, but I may need to stop someplace like Wichita Falls or somewhere along there and top off. But I'm on Highway 180, which cuts back across, takes me up at an angle toward Wichita Falls. Actually, it may actually take me over to a town called Anson, but I'm not sure about that. I think so, though. Yeah, I think it does. I think it goes to Anson. Let me back it out here a little bit and see. Yeah, it's not gonna tell me, but I'm pretty sure it is. So run me over to Highway 277, I believe, at Anson, which should be about 56 miles, maybe. We'll see about it. Looks like I've got a passing lane coming up. I got a big truck behind me. Looks like he wants to run fast, so I'm going to get over out of his way and let him have the road, so to speak. I don't need to be slowing him down. Let him know I'm getting out of his way here so he can get his speed up. Here you go, guy. Knock yourself out. I'll even slow down for you so you can get around me since it's on a hill. He's trying, he just doesn't have the butt end. There he goes. I just don't want him crawling up my butt. So he's hauling oil field pipe. Now I wanted to see if I could see any more of these critters. I've been seeing little things on the road. There's been caterpillars. And I was seeing those the other day too when I was in this area. Little black caterpillars, probably 3 or 4 inches long, crossing the road. And then I saw something else. I don't know if it was tarantulas, grasshoppers, scorpions. I don't know, but it must be awfully wet out there. And maybe that's why some of them are up on the road. I'm not sure. It's kind of why I was trying to go slow through here. I want to see if I can see any more of these other critters and see what they are. Whether they're tarantulas or what. Whatever they are. I probably won't see any more of them now that I'm up here and don't have anybody pushing me. So I was seeing them all south of town. I was dodging them actually on the road because I'm trying not to run over them. I try not to run over anything that's living, you know what I mean? Just because I think it's, better not to. Even if it is a bug. I don't willfully run over anything, put it that way. It's not my intention to get up here and kill any kind of critter with my truck. It happens occasionally, and I'm usually sorry when it does. Not seeing any of them up here. Maybe it was just down in the mesquite. Oh, that's weird. Very weird. Huh. Okay, well. Odd. So I saw something else back there where I stopped at that I was just kind of icked out by it. There's a new hairstyle that women are doing, and it kind of makes sense, but it's really ugly. In a hot, humid climate like this, when you've got any length of hair on the back of your neck, it's hot, it's itchy, it's miserable. So these women had like the third of the back of their hair from about like the line of their ears down shaved pretty much, or cut real short. But then they had the rest of their hair long, and they had it up in buns, like a messy bun. And I was just thinking that it's practical, but it's butt ugly. It's just not a good look. Just really not a good look. But I understand the theory behind it. Get that stuff up off your neck. And I totally get that, because my hair drives me crazy in the summer when it's hot and it's on my neck and it's itchy, So I get it, but not a good look. Not something that I would do after having seen it, on a couple of different people with very different body shapes, by the way. It didn't look any better on the heavy girl than it did on the skinny, scrawny girl. So it's It's just not a flattering look. Anybody who's thinking about doing that, take a look at it first when somebody's got their hair up, because it's not a good look to my eyes. Now somebody else may think it looks great, and that's okay, but I didn't think so. It looked awful. I'm not seeing any of those critters on this road yet. It figures. I wanted to slow down back there and look, but I had a bunch of cars behind me, so I decided that it was probably better not to be slowing everybody down so I could study the insect life in the region, you know, from my moving vehicle. There was a caterpillar. Okay, so maybe we're getting back. Maybe it does have something to do with the mesquite being beside the road. So we're getting back into that kind of mesquite-y area. Not mosquito, mesquite-y. Mesquite. All these little trees out here, a lot of those are mesquite. Green tree-like plant that covers most of West Texas and a lot of southwestern Oklahoma and a lot of southern Texas, the border, probably a lot of Mexico. Picnic area, historical marker, 1 mile on the left. Okay. Over here just in the event that there might be some of those critters in here moving around. Really curious as to what that is I was seeing. No, unfortunately I'm not seeing anything. Not seeing any of them down in here. Lots of grass and weeds. Not seeing any of these critters. Okay, oh well. Win some, you lose some. I got vehicles coming both ways here, so I'm gonna wait a minute. All right. Well, if I see more, I'll pull over and look at them. If I can do it that quickly, if I can stop that fast. They're kind of small. It's not like I can see them, you know, very far up ahead of the truck. Seen a bunch of these trucks with oversized loads on skids like that today. Bunch of them. So I think the oil field is alive and well. I'm not sure why it's so slow down around Midland, Odessa. What's going on down there? I don't know. Or up in that region between there and Amarillo, either motels were empty, and that's unusual. In my experience, anyway. Maybe I just hit it when they were busy before, and it's normal. Who knows? Okay, well, not seeing anything. So I shall just drive. I shall. Okay, now there's the caterpillars. I just saw 2 of them. Huh. Interesting. I'm sure it's some kind of an annual deal where they hatch this time of year or whatever. Start crawling around. And yeah, that was a Texas trooper. Doggone it, I think I hit that one. They're everywhere now. Little caterpillars everywhere. They're not that little either. They're actually pretty large. Pretty long. There goes one. Not seeing the other things yet though, just the caterpillars. The other critters were kind of brownish tan looking, so they could have been anything. Tarantulas, grasshoppers, scorpions, any or all of the above. Kind of surprised the birds aren't all out here picking them up off the road. There's some more of them. I'm going to slow down and see if I can get a good look at one. I don't have anybody behind me. There's one. Huh. That's just a bug, like a beetle. Not do anything while this guy's going by. I don't want him to think I'm a weirdo. I clearly am a weirdo. Trying to get a look at a freaking caterpillar. I'm actually more interested in the other stuff I was seeing. There's one. Clear Fork of the Brazos River. Is that Brazos or Brazos? I don't know. There's one. Maybe I'll get over here and just poke along and see if I can see another one. There's one. I'll get out and look and see what the hell it is. They're pretty long. I don't know if they're centipedes or caterpillars or what. Oh, I can see more of them from here. Okay, there's centipedes, I guess. Centipedes or millipedes. They've got kind of a hard shell body. They're really long. I thought they were fuzzy. Not so. They're more like a centipede. And they are pretty long. They're about 4 or 5 inches long. So they've got kind of an armored shell. Huh, who knew? I could have stopped and taken a picture, but I can probably find something online and I'll edit it up and show you what it looks like here. Then I'll be able to tell you exactly what they are too. So they are not fuzzy worms. They are not fuzzy caterpillars. Not even. Although that's what they look like from the truck. So of course I got a truck on my ass. Why not? Go on, buddy. Get on around me. Come on. I'm doing something. I'm busy doing something. Leave me alone. I've got another one behind me still. It'll get around me up here in this passing zone, I'm sure. 41 miles to Anson, so we're getting back over in the zone. That's where I'll hit the 4-lane divided road. Is at Anson. There you go, guy. Get on around me. I want to run slow for a reason. Go around me. I'm trying to use mind control on these people. Make them do my bidding, which is to get away from me. Yeah, I'm seeing a bunch of them now. Feel sorry for the little things. They're just going to get smashed up here. But I haven't seen any of the other ones. I haven't seen any of the ones that I can't decide what they are. Guess I'll never know. We'll probably never anyway, unless I see some up here somewhere. Doesn't look like it's going to happen, so. Okay, so my fuel on board has exceeded my distance from home by a few miles. That's good. I've got 251 miles of fuel on board and 248 miles to get home. I expect that ratio to improve even more because I'm running slow. Yeah, I'm not running slow, but I'm not running 75 either. And I'm getting around 16, 17 miles to the gallon, so I'm doing pretty good. But I will stop and buy some more fuel in here somewhere. Just to make sure I'm not going to try and slide up the driveway on fumes, you know. That's not my intention. my niece having a close call yesterday with somebody who couldn't stay in their own damn lane. I'm still extremely impressed that she didn't panic. I mean, I don't know if I would or not, but I'm extremely impressed if she didn't. Sure bloomed out pretty still. We've had a solid month and a half, I think, of extremely pretty wildflowers. And they're still going. Alright, so I'm in Haskell, Texas. I'm making it home little bits at a time here. Thought I'd stop and get something to drink, but they had nothing to drink here at the Stripes. So I'm going to run across the road here to the other one and see if they've got something to drink. Which by nothing to drink, I mean nothing that wasn't either caffeine or nothing that just simply wasn't working. So, you know, just try it over here. I think I stopped here before, and I think they may have stuff here. We'll see. See how it goes, but I'll give it a try. Yeah, I think I stopped here once. They claim they've got good coffee. We'll see if they've got decaf at all. And I shall return. Well, I should have put on my sleeves before I went in, because there was a box sitting inside the door that I banged my arm on. Now I'm bleeding all over the place. Damn it. I'll tell you, having old skin sucks. It's not like I even actually hit it very hard, just enough to scuff it. Annoying as hell. Word to the wise, if you're young and you haven't already cooked your skin, stay the hell out of the sun. Because what happened to mine was I worked out in the sun for years and years and just cooked the hell out of myself. Did a little bit of sunbathing too, but not a lot. I was not like a sun worshiper. But it doesn't take too awful much if you do it all the time. You know, a little bit all the time is just as bad for you as way too much from the get-go. Oh well, anyway, I got my coffee. Another couple of vehicles going to Mexico. That's some kind of racket. I would seriously be investigating that shit if I was a cop still. It just rubs me the wrong way when I see it. And I know there's something shady going on. And my personal opinion on it is I think that's the way the cartels are getting their cash back into Mexico from all their drug dealings and such. I think they're putting it in those beater piece of shit cars that nobody wants that they're buying for $100 a pop, and then going to all the expense to tow all the way back to Mexico. Why would you even do that? Because those cars have been wrecked. They're not even worth anything, you know. Maybe in Mexico there were something. I got my doubts, so I don't think they're worth anything anywhere. I think if they were, they wouldn't be selling so cheap here. So, you know. All right, welcome to the last leg of my week-long marathon. I am in Waurika, Oklahoma, getting ready to turn onto Highway 81, and I've never been so glad to see a highway in my life, because this means I'm only 40 miles from home, and I am ready to be home. Oh my gosh. So just to recap the week, Monday was Memorial Day, so there was no work. Tuesday, I got a text saying I've got these 4 jobs, or 3 or 4 jobs, however many it was. Do you want to do them? I was like, yeah. So I left Tuesday morning, late Tuesday morning, went to Medill, Oklahoma, picked up a set of doubles, took them to Stephenville, Texas, went from there to Lubbock, Texas, picked up another trailer and took it to Odessa, Texas, went back to Lubbock, Texas, picked up another trailer, took it to Amarillo, Texas, picked up a trailer in Amarillo, Texas, took it to Albuquerque, New Mexico, went back to Amarillo, picked up a second trailer and took it to Amarillo, or to Albuquerque. I went back to Amarillo for like the 3rd or 4th time. Picked up a trailer yesterday and hauled it down and dropped it off at Odessa today. And now I'm on my way home. And talk about a week. My gosh. That was a lot of driving and a lot of days out from home for, you know, to earn a paycheck. It was a lot, I must say. And because of the motel bills, I didn't do as well with all of that after expenses as you would expect for all that running around and all those jobs. So I'm glad this week is over. I ended up doing about 30 to 35% of my gross went to expenses, which is not bad. That's really not bad. That's pretty good, actually. And once the dust settles before taxes, I'll clear about $2,000. So $2,000 minus taxes is my take for the last 5 days of running my ass off. And I've put, God, I don't know how many miles on the truck. Probably close to 2,000 miles, I would say. I'm gonna guess, just pulling a number out of the air. And here it is, 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon. So I've been gone Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and 5 full days. 5 full days of running. And 4 motel nights. So I will be extremely glad to get home, extremely glad to get some real food, and extremely glad to sleep in my own bed and get a nice hot soaking bath before I get in my own bed tonight. So yeah. So anyway, that's where I'm at. That's the recap of the week. I appreciate you for sitting through all this footage. I'm going to try and break it up, or by the time you see this, I will have broken it up into hopefully reasonably short segments, because I don't want it to take you a week to watch it all. But I'll try to just narrow it down to the highlights and do kind of a 2 or 3 part deal. And I've got some things I want to add in editing that I'll try and get in there. But I just want to say thank you for watching. I don't have thousands of people subscribed. I have several people subscribed, and I appreciate every one of you. So thank you for subscribing. If you're new and you're watching, please subscribe. It gives me some more motivation to keep making these videos. And if you like what you're seeing, give me a little thumbs up too. That would be nice. And if you have comments or anything, please feel free to give me some feedback on these, or just to make a comment if you see something you like in the video or someplace that looks familiar to you or whatever. Because I do read all the comments, and I respond to the ones that are real comments. I don't respond to the bots, but I do respond to the human beings. So please do. Again, thank you for watching, and thank you for following through the whole week. I appreciate it, and I will see you hopefully next week. Maybe I'll only work a couple of days next week, and maybe it won't be quite so much of a circus, but we will see. It remains to be seen. Anyway, thank you. Thanks for riding along, and I will see you next week.